Jungle Morgana has returned thanks to Riot's buffs and a little tweak to her ultimate. Let's see what we can do in a challenger level game. We're against the rank 1 of the season, well, peak rank 1 this season on a US 2000 LP from Pipet Yar, and we have the Morgana starting in the Wolf Camp, obviously W, and then you're going to go 2 points into W before you do that Black Shield. You want a full clear, basically that's the guarantee here. We full clear 2 points in W before we hit Black Shield at level 4. Now, you would have seen on the runes that we are going First Strike this game. Dark Harvest is standard, go Dark Harvest as standard, that's it. However, First Strike as a tree is much better, right? That whole tree is much better than the Domination tree, and we still have our Relentless Hunter and our Cheap Shot, so it can work, it does work, it's just it's not used very much, and Dark Harvest gives you way better scaling, and because you can stack it so easily. Now, the W does have this cooldown reduction system, so you want to make sure that you're getting your camps fully in that W, and obviously does, if you wouldn't have read that one, missing HP. So essentially what you want to do is smite up front, especially if you're starting solo on a blue or a red, smite up front, get the missing HP damage extra, and now you're on your way. So, Wolves into Grump into blue in this particular situation, or blue into Grump, depends on your philosophical pathway decision, and we're going to go down here to the Raptors, red, and Krugs. Now, we're against a Trundle who is full clearing, as we see everyone kind of do at the moment because counter jungling is so strong. Dyna drags the camp here. The experience glitch that we had earlier in the patch has been hotfixed, so in theory you shouldn't be as compromised, although I literally had the exact thing happen to me. I was doing Azari stuff, boom boom, did an invade here, got collapsed on, died, whatever, tragic. I died, but I got the blue buff. Because I died, I didn't get full experience, so I wasn't level 3, which sucks. Now the Morgana here is going to be going from the red, dragging it down, always dragging it, use your Q to keep them within the W range, get the tick damage proc, move on over. We should have no issue getting level 4 here, so mostly from what we know, by taking those camps from a distance, that experience bug has been fixed. So, off we go, finishing up level 4. We'll take our Black Shield, as you see now, we'll take a Black Shield, here we go, leveled up. 28 CS, coming up maybe for the Scuttle Crab, although we know Trundle started on the top side. So we decide to maybe look at bottom lane, nothing. Trundle now sees this, will push the crab upwards and hopefully get a Q smite, but he used a double smite on his clear, whereas Morgana did not. That's why we think about these things when we are clearing. Do we want to use double smite, or do we not? If you're pathing in the same direction as someone and sense a crab fight, then don't use your double smite. Trundle crosses mid lane here, he wants his crab. Lucian is going in here, Morgana's thinking, can I do something? Cuts the wave here, gets pillared by a tiny little house. If you want help implementing this information into your own game, I have a free jungle improvement resource and a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching, coaching VOD libraries, weekly coaching classes, Q&As, patch note rundowns, private high elo streams, as well as a private jungle Discord. And I know how to make junglers convert from low elo to gold to emerald to diamond to master plus. If you want to climb faster than anybody you know, jungle diff every game you play, head to virkayu.gg. And now we can help the Lucian push out a little bit, and we can see the Trundle moving up here as well. We have the Gragas who sagged off. We know he most likely Basin will TP back in. Darius here has let the wave be in an advantageous position for a gank, but it does mean that if Gragas has gone back to base, the Darius can rotate quicker, so the Morgana says, hey, this guy has no smite, because he's pulling off with the crab, so Darius is like, yes, I can arrive. We flash Q, force his flash. Darius goes for the flash hook. Nicely done, Black Shield activated as well. We don't quite have the damage, and the Pillar House once more slows and stops the chase. You know, if I'm the Darius here, I appreciate the full commit, but I think from Morgana's perspective, if I can flash Q and force his flash, that's way better, right? That's way better for... Anyway, so if you're not talking to a camera and coaching and things like this while you play, watch the Lucian, here he comes. He says, you helped me, I will help you just a little bit. And of course, as a Trundle here, you have to question, why would you greedily go for Krugs? Even if you have smite and so on, it's just such a waste of time, right? Go back to base, buy whatever you can buy, and then come back out and make your decisions. Obviously, the Lucian doing this is unexpected. You're not necessarily going to know that, but then again, you have wards here. We see this movement, right? This movement is tracked entirely. We also now see the Morgana going for this, so she's going for an equally aggressive play. We do have smite, though, so we need to try and get it and get out. Tick damage smite, thank you so much. We're going to take that. We're going to hit the Q there and slow him down. We have Black Shield as well. Trundle's now speeding up, but he will have to run away with his Sheen. So, cool. Decent early beginning. That's essentially what you're looking to do, right? As a framework, we're looking to do some kind of Raptor solo start. You can do a Blue solo start. You can do a Wolf solo start. And you full clear down. W, Q, W. Then you get E. You look to gank a side lane here. Straight up if you can. If you cannot, Control your Scuttle Crab if you can. If you cannot, make your decision. But we were here, and here, all in the first rotation. Darius. Can he do it? Well then, that's a level 6 dinging Gragas, because obviously in this particular case, paying attention to your 530 wave is important with your back timings, and Gragas hits it first. Romans do compromise it. But Morgana, now level 4, can come out of base with Last Chapter and say, hey, let's go. We obviously like the Dark Seal. Can we hit a Q here? No, but maybe he has no mana for barrel roll, so maybe we can just hit a W and a couple auto attacks. Dark Oversteer is nice, but we obviously have the true damage from first strike also. He's going to use all his mana on that body roll. We'll just keep auto attacking here. We have Black Shield as well. We just body him. Nicely done. Easy. Zoning by the Darius. And you see this, top laners? You see how the Darius doesn't go back in and die greedily for an assist? He says, look, I'll take the experience by being near it. Let my jungler get it. She's got it under control. And now, obviously, the Trundle, if we look, is on the bottom side here, going for bottom lane gank. Samira says, I am Samira. And, you know, even if the Trundle dies here, if they can get... Okay, that's all right. We'll take it. We'll take it. But that's your life as Morgana here. We're not going to be this hyper ganking machine, yeah? We are map control, we are sequencing, and your W, once you get 3 points, 4 points, 5 points, you get Last Chapter, you start to really ramp up your farming nice and quick. And again, because this W, right, missing HP, that means the camps that have higher HP and the higher levels that Riot have just brought forth is one of those champions that doesn't matter as much versus champions who have no percentage HP in their kit for clearing, and that's what you're seeing as well. Obviously, she's not AD, which is a benefit. You look at the Trundle now. Level 4 forced to continuously focus on ganks because he will never match the Morgana's farming whatsoever. And so he is forced now to really risk a lot more with the ganks. Morgana's already up, 14 CS here. Gragas is moving down for deep vision. From our perspective, there you go. We don't necessarily know all these things, and I think doing the Raptors and not immediately trying to get up for the Scuttle Crab is interesting. Because you know that the Gragas is sagged off, he's probably deep warding, you know that the Trundle's on the top side here. I'm really interested that well, you know, Scuttle Crab is the most elusive of all characters in the game. Yeah. So when you miss your Scuttle Crab and people ping you in your whatever games, happens in challenges too. I don't know why. There's something about junglers and skill shots. We just miss the crab all the time at every level of play. That thing torments us, and yet they buffed it and made it more valuable. Imagine. So now, Trundle has gone back to his red into his Krugs, and Morgana says, well, I can maybe set a trap here, because I got the level 6, I've got my ultimate, I can hit my Q here, hopefully, and then we'll hit a W on top of it with an ult, so let's see what we do. Trundle should get 6 after this, so we probably need to go before he does get 6, just, you know, it depends on who you're playing. There we go, we're actually just going to ult off the bat, use our Black Shield to avoid any CC, then we're going to save our Q for the W, perfect as well. Could have done it the other way around, but I think that's actually better, so ignore my brain. I was like, let's go, I got too excited. Content, right? You get too excited, here we go. And obviously killing a Trundle is always fun. True. So there we use our ult to get the root, which guarantees the Q, which we can then use for a guaranteed W. We can use our E to make sure we stay in that range. And the movement speed buff that we get from our ult now, thanks to Riot on this patch, allows us to stick with targets a lot easier when it comes to those scenarios. So, thumbs up, cool stuff, and now we get to go straight into the Herald. Trundle, on the other hand, will have to go to the bottom side. We know that might give up a dragon, but dragons have been nerfed. Local gold has been nerfed on Herald too, but we still want the Herald. And again, nothing changes for your jungling, right? Take the Herald, take the objective that's closest when you kill someone, and you counter jungle them. We are now level 7, and the Trundle here is going to go straight outside and roll to this dragon. A bit of catch-up experience for him. This is all he can do. But still, Dark Seal is a thing. I think we should be rushing, but I was talking with someone about this the other day. I was like, you know, with Morgana, like, you can go Dark Seal and things like this, but Last Chapter is so damn valuable for the spam and the quick sequencing. Isn't it just better to go that and kind of get to Dark Seal in the next rotation? Which is something I also do sometimes in Zyra. I'm just like, I feel like I need to keep up my speed here, because enemy jungler is going to be ganking a lot. I'm not going to be able to match them. I need to be quick, have high mana. I need to go in and out of the jungle taking camps. I need to be able to surprise them and take the fights with ease. All of these things are important. So what we choose to do here is to go Last Chapter, make this good stuff happen, and then say, we have an early Leandries, let's go for that, because the percentage damage here, again, huge for clearing, huge for fighting, huge for fisting, and I like that as well. Yes, you're slower, but that's okay, and also, especially if you have boots, like she does, you're not in the same situation where you actually need to buy boots. You're like, well, I have no boots. There we go, so might as well finish my mythic. And I think that's also something that's interesting when you take this tree over Dark Harvest. You're not compelled to go boots, although most likely, I think a lot of people still go booties in Cosmic anyway, secondary. Don't have to, can, don't have to. Sorcery tree does exist as well. Option. But by default, I think most junglers just, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look how quickly that is now. Beautiful. Leandris plus W. Samira goes in with a lead. She gets another one. She gets rooted under turret. The bottom lane does the work. We've got the TP in from the Lucian as well. The Orianna's pushed in on the mid lane, so we can do that. Play around your winning lanes. Important. But also remember that everything you do as a jungler, as Morgana, isn't necessarily about doing what the Trundle can. You're not a Rammus, not a Trundle, you're not a Jarvan. You are a sequencer, a map controller, a flame horizoner, a gold advantager. This is what we want all the time. It's all about gold advantages and basically using counter jungling to get good angles. We obviously have the Trundle moving here, and a black shield gets popped, but look at the damage on the ultimate. That ultimate damage is insane. Let's look at that again. Okay, here we go. So basically you've got like 250 up front and then 250 once you get the full chain. So here we go in, we try to use our black shield, but it gets popped immediately by Orianna's damage. We press ult, and now we have the bonus movement speed, obviously, thanks to that buff. We're gonna get the root here, and then obviously you can use your W on top of that for missing HP, amplify damage. You use your Q as well to make them stay in place after your ult proc. Really important to know how to do that. And absolutely massive use of that counter jungling. Again, another camp into a gank. We have the Herald. We got minutes to use the Herald for plates as well. And obviously you got a little bit of the Spell Vamp and Siphon also. So look at this, level 8 to level 7. He's getting some minions from the wave there, and you're thinking, gosh darn it, he's gonna catch up. No, because they nerfed that as well. And this all plays into Morgana's hands. I will say though, at the end of the day, when you lack this guaranteed ganking ability, when you're not necessarily going to run into Lee Sins and fight them, you can, right? A Fair Morgana who hits a Q with her W, even without ultimate, is lethal when she's really far ahead. It's a lot of damage. But early on, there's this window where you can really be abused in the jungle, and just making sure you have good sequencing, have presence in every lane, try and get a Scuttle Crab, maybe 2 if you can. Do some counter jungling early so that you make the enemy jungler take a longer time to clear. And all of a sudden, level 7 to level 9. This is our goal, all right? Every game you play Morgana, you're trying to be level 9 to level 7. That's it. And we didn't do this through some magnificent ganking prowess. We just said, hey, I'm going to sequence counter jungle, play around my lanes a little bit. From 202, nice use of the ultimate up front into the QW. So again, ignore my brain fart from earlier. Sometimes you get ahead of yourself. Sometimes I get too Zyra, because you always want to hit your root into the combo, right, for your plants and the amplification of the plants. And this is an analog to Zyra jungle. This is probably the more meta version, just a bit more useful, because the lockdown is a bit more intense. You know, you got 1.5 seconds in the ult, you get 2.25 seconds on the Q. I mean, that's enough time to raise a family. So we have our bottom lane doing the work despite the Trundle's efforts otherwise. And again, we're in the jungle taking stuff. This is all we're caring about right now. Drag the camp as well, auto tech, there we go, full experience. We have our boots! Hooray, we can go back to base now. Dragon is going to be coming up, that's the next thing we kind of want to think about. We also have the second Herald as a possibility. Soul boots completed, M-Tome purchased. Now, the item I love on Morgana, and most mages, obviously a lot of us do, is we love Death Cap when we can get it and rush it second, but at the same time, most of us are rushing that Shadow Flame. Not as an anti-shield item, just because we need it to do a lot of damage, and it does a lot of damage, but not against shields. You know, you 3,000 extra damage on a Shadow Flame, and against a Karma comp, I'll do 50 extra damage to shields. Great item. Great for damage in general, but not for shields necessarily. So obviously that's a good thing to rush as well. So, Nautilus, that's a huge Nautilus skin. It's very low HP, but we have our ultimate available again. So here, if you can get into range to ult with your smite, which is exactly what we want to do, that's good. We get the flash here. We want to hit our Q into the W, the missing HP auto attacks in the meantime. Gragas TP's in, and we will get the Q. Did you see that again? As with these new champion reviews, we want to ensure we're getting the mechanics down. If you really kind of get into range for your ultimate, it's okay to Q up front just to try, but obviously pay attention to whether they have flash or not also, because otherwise it's a little bit pointless. So we all know the original Morgana flash ult stun into Q combo. So here we go. We save that W for maximum missing HP damage, and tick tick boom with the Leandris. We die, but we get a kill back. Juicy. And Darius will go ahead and get some plates because we forced that TP off, and of course we used the Herald before on the mid lane. And now the Trundle's going to try and probably recoup some experience down here and, you know, set up for the Dragon. Samir's really fed. So we want to make sure we are preventing the Xayah and the Lulu and everyone from getting back into the game. So yeah, the shutdown to the Gragas is tragic, but that's okay. You know, it's part of doing business sometimes. Right. Trundle is seen here. Lulu's back to the mid lane. Lucian finishes off this turret, which is great for us. We now can float on down to the bottom side. If your team are dead, taking bad fights in a more negative game state, it's okay to give up this Dragon as well. the tip is to make sure that you take this, you can counter jungle this, you can maybe gank this again, finish off this, and then you can fall back to your blue side, right? So don't obsess too much over a second dragon if your team is dead, if your team are in base. Take what you can from the neutral side, the Scuttle Crabs, the Heralds, take their camps on the other side while they're down here. Gank the opposite lane, try to get some more plates, get that turret, and then fall back to your quadrant again. So that way, the counter jungling power in this patch, absolutely massive. And you're seeing it against the Trundle here. He's not even that far behind in CS, but he's level 9. And we should be pretty damn close to level 11. Actually, we're only halfway. We died, so we should be, but we're not. But in most games, again, level 9 to level 7, level 11 to level 9, that's the play. And typically, this final punch will come from either critical counter jungling or a crucial fight. If the Trundle's being safe and smart and actually not, killing himself running into these plays, then, he might stay within touching distance, but he's not going to get free catch-up from lane anymore, which is something I really enjoy. So now he's going to go ahead and do this. How close is he to level 10? Nowhere near level 10 for reference, so we're just looking at the experience to keep track of it. We should hit level 11 to level 9, which even if it's like the guy's almost level 10, and we just hit level 11, mentally it's huge, right? Like 2 level leads, he just sees that, he's like, oh my goodness. Now when there we go, there it is again. See, this is just what we want to do. We want to keep that visual reminder that this guy's been diffed. And he can't farm as fast as us. We do want the Herald, obviously, but we decide to do a little loop. Take this, do our camps, loop back into this, which is great when you have no idea what's going on the map. Like, if you have darkness, your team is base, don't start this up and die. I know you want it, but don't start it up and die. You look at it, you take the Scuttle Crab, you take some camps, you loop back around now with your team, and now we can take it as we have numbers advantage. Prevent enemy junglers from getting these objectives, and it's huge. Their bottom lane are going to now rotate because they're like, well, we better try to do something. Trundle shows top lane to try and kill the Darius before the Herald take is secured. And of course, we leave the Herald to rotate over. We're going to hit that Q. See, there you go, the Q into the W. Onto the Trundle, pop, pop goes the Weasel. Now they're going super mega deep. Enemy team is arriving. Morgana's like, can we just take the Herald, please? And Samira's like, no, I'm an ADC. Shut up. And then she goes and dies. We do have ult available here. Q misses, W hits, Orianna shields, disgusting champion as they buffed it. And now we kind of have to play it a bit more safe. There we go, we do hit that QW. Now we can ult over the wall. See, there is a good use of that. And the W tick plus the Andrew should get the kill, which it does, of course. We do get hit by the Everfrost. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Unlucky. We hit the Q, we try to hit a Q flash to get out and we still died. But yeah. So there's a great example of, hey, I can't see anything. Check my Q, hit the W. Oh, I got them. Okay, now I can R, right? And obviously the benefit with higher levels of haste and cooldowns later in the game is that hopefully you can open up with the Q, R, and then before they run away, end with the Q. So basically 2.25 seconds plus 2.25 seconds plus 1.5 seconds plus 3 years. No one's moving if you can do that against critical targets. Actually, I misspoke. It's 2.5 seconds at this point because that scales from 2.25 to 3 seconds. Yeah, 3 seconds in max rank. Obviously, we all know this. For some reason, I forgot it. I just figured 1.5 plus 2.25 is enough. But right, we're like, no, let's help it up, and also that also goes up to 2, so excuse me for using base values. The stun time is significantly higher. Right, we still have time to take this, so let's go ahead and do it. Samira is available. Original T1 ward, I own that, very cute. 2013 supporters, anybody? Lulu Shadows up here, Trundle is now level 11, and we're level 11. See, this is what I'm talking about. The kill, the catch-up experience isn't in the camps, it isn't in the lanes, it's in the kills, right? It's just frustrating when that happens, but at the same time, it's make the game a bit more important. However, we look at gold, 6.4k gold on the Trundle, 7.6 on the Morgana. So it's not like she has that much gold. That's a free kill there with that W, Tormented Soil. Is it actually Tormented? Yeah, Tormented Shadow. I guess Soil works. Could be Soil. In the meantime, we're just cleaning up fights. Chuck a Q to check if anyone's in the brush, and then we'll start up taking this red buff. It's pretty straightforward though. You know, W to farm, Q to keep the camp there so you get the cooldown reduction benefit as well. You chuck Qs to check brushes, you use your E against crucial spells for damage and CC, and you can ult up front, wait for the stun, then hit your QW, get maximum missing HP proc. You can open up with a QW if necessary, then hit your ult as well, and basically that's what we're doing here. Look at this, see? We didn't use our ult here because we don't want to waste it on the Morgana, on the Lulu. Like, wasting ult for a single target there is fine. Forcing a flash is better. Forcing ult and so on is better. That's a dead Lucian, so you don't get the Xayah fed. Now, cooldown for reference is 7.69 at current haste. So, you know, it's unlikely you ever get a back-to-back-to-back. Ooh, hello. Okay, here we go. Oh, he walks out of the R range. Yeah, a little greedy. I think we can all agree while we're talking about numbers that was a little bit greedy. Jungling-wise, you know, Lucian's dead, Darius on the bottom side. You know, why wait around and die? Especially with the dragon coming up, so a little bit of a throw position there, but that's okay. I feel like we still have control, but you do have to be careful against these comps. Samira kills Orianna, that's great, but we all know ADCs, and we got 2 of them this game. They can really change the nature of a game through one simple mistake, so I feel like that's our final throw moment. We do have another needlessly large rod. Shadow Flame into Death Cap with the Leandries is a lot of Morgana damage. A lot of Morgana damage. And it looks like Samira and Lucian would have a significantly higher damage threshold than the Morgana in this game. That's actually not the case. Whoa, goodbye, sir. Ciao. Ciao, Bella. Now, we need to take the Scuttle Crab, I feel like, as well, but, you know the whole team was down here and so on. So I think we know that they're not going to be here because we have this vision, so we could take the Scuttle Crab, but if there's any doubt, don't face check Mordor and die. That's it, right? Could bait them in with it as well. Gragas obviously now has used his ultimate. We'll go ahead and QW that sucker right there. Lulu's out of position with no flash. We know she has no flash because Morgana burned it. So again, you don't get an assist for that, but this is a huge flash burn, right? That's why using your ult there is great to get that. Ooh, we hit it. So QW. Now we can Black Shield obviously to avoid the stun, but he has a lot of magic damage. We don't necessarily need to ult this as well. We do miss that next W. But that's okay, see? Picks. Current haste 6.9. There we go. We checked that one over the wall. W. Turret taken. Heals up again, just for reference. Huge. 539 damage as well. Just wanted to check the numbers for you. You want to know this one? 97 per second. This one, 463. And then 463. Damage builds up. Now imagine with Death Cap. Not quite Rumble levels, but definitely important to note how much damage that can be. Here, obviously, just, your W absolutely rinses it very, very quickly. Make sure you snack it up, zone as always. Here we go. So now we can think about using our ultimate, but again, don't need to at all. We have the Zaya running away. Black Shield. We hit that one there, so now we can use it for maximum damage. Boom, dead. Whew. Whew. With a QWR, you're looking at a very dead person most of the time. And I think people are realizing how strong her ult actually is now. But for me, the most noticeable thing is honestly the movement speed. Movement speed is such an interesting stat. Because Riot typically take it away from certain champions, they give it back to others. They give it to systems and take it away from systems. It's just such an it's the most important thing for junglers to consider. For ganking, for fighting, for positioning, and that's why we like Gus Walker Hatchling, right? Obviously in this game, we have decided to go another direction, but, well, makes sense why you would go Scorch Claw here. It's the best pet overall at the moment, I think, because you also get a slow plus damage tick, and all we're doing is waiting for... there you go. They have to flash it because they will be stuck for 3 seconds. And that's insane. 3 seconds is insane. It's a lot of time. It's 5 total seconds of stun time if you don't die before the final channel proc of the Soul Shackle. Soul Shackles? Soul Shackles. I know some things. QW. Whoa, here we go. No R, we're going to have to flash that one. I was waiting for the timer there. Lucian just decides to clean up because when you play champion like this in the jungle, you become irritating. You become very, very irritating. And so you will be focused because your damage is high, your CC is high, and your utility is high. And that will focus you so hard that your team can usually run over fights, provided they don't go ahead and do these things and maybe die to them. That you can't help. But we do have Soul Shackles, Q coming up here. Maybe someone can be picked, just so you see the damage. Come on, let's do it. No one face checked, unlucky. Darius is pushing the bot lane. Hex Tech Flash Nautilus. Orianna Trundle on the bot side, 2-level lead again. You see, I told you. 9-7, 11-9, 15-13, maintain the lead. As I wrote in the weekly email today with the tier list that I sent out on Virkayu.gg, please use these things as a metric, right? Understand that counter jungling and getting a lead in this new jungle should result in you maintaining it if you play properly. You only will lose that lead entirely if you throw in some capacity. Your team throws in some capacity. But if you get a lead through these mechanics, better ganking, punishing their mistakes, counter jungling efficiently, farming efficiently yourself, getting kill conversion ratios, you shouldn't lose the lead that you gain. Nautilus goes in here. We're just kind of being shilling, trying to save him, but he went way too deep here. The tiny house is once more being used. We do have Soul Shackles available once more. We could look for one more fight, but of course Lucian isn't here, so now we just want to be a little bit cautious about going too deep. We black shield the ADC. We chuck out a Q that gets avoided. They're going to try and go back in here. Keep your spacing. Darius misses his hook. Okay, maybe time to go get a blue buff. I understand the desire, but maybe it's just time to go get a blue buff. Or the enemy team can... or the Trundle can do that. Or the Trundle can do that. All they had to do is red team was heal up, buy, and wave clear because they're out of mana, they're lower on HP, and they don't have numbers advantage. Nice Q there from the Morgana. Did you see that? The More Jungle strikes again. And Samira now does damage, Lucian does damage, Lulu shields, and you're just sitting in the back line. You're just sitting in the back line, chucking Qs, chucking Ws, chucking black shields, waiting for your moment to press the R button. Obviously, we're really low mana now, so that's a bit of an issue for that, but this should be GG. A great example of how unassuming the carry can be. But if you look at the match history in the description below, you'll see the damage Morgana did. It's on par with the 280 carries that had the most kills. Huge stuff. Hopefully learned a few things about Morgana Jungle. Is it OP and Giga broken? No. Is it serviceable and does it have a role? 100% yes.